Alrighty guys, we're back for some Jund Modified, and this is a Streets of New Capenna standard build. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. So what do we got in the build here? We're starting off with Kumano faces Kakkazan, our only one drop in the deck. It's not very often that I make a deck that only has a single one drop, but yeah, Kumano is definitely worth it. We have 4 Akki Ember-Keepers, which is an enchantment creature, which is going to be pretty important in this build. And whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. That's pretty darn sweet, actually. This is probably going to put in a lot more work than we would initially expect. We have 4 Gala Greeters, being able to plug counters into itself and also ramp us with some treasure while keeping us safe and gaining some life. Like, Gala Greeters is just ridiculously good. We got 4 Kami of Transience. While it isn't technically an enchantment build, there are tons of enchantments to go ahead and help Kami of Transience get those extra counters, but then also just having the trample 2/2 is pretty good in here as well, because there's a bunch of other ways to get counters onto this as well, just aside from its ability, right? Also, at the beginning of each end step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return Kami of Transience from your graveyard to your hand. Just happens to be excellent. In our 3-drop spot, we have a couple Fable of the Mirror Breakers, naturally. Helps us ramp, helps us cycle through cards. It's an enchantment, so it works with Kami of Transience, and Reflection is an enchantment creature, so it works with the Ember-Keeper as well. We have 4 Jugan, defends the temple, helps us ramp with that little 1/1, helps us put counters onto things to help modify everything as well, and then of course it exiles, comes back as Remnant of the Rising Star, a flying 2/2, with as long as you control 5 or more modified creatures, which isn't that hard to get to, honestly. Then Remnant of Rising Star gets +5/+5 and has trample. Nice. Has this other spicy ability too. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on that creature. Overall, this is going to put in a lot of work. We have a single Kodama of the West Tree. Modified creatures get trample. Nice, pretty good. Helps us grab some land from the deck as well. However, it is search for a basic land card, which we only have 3 of in the entire deck. So the second ability here isn't going to do too much. And yeah, you could totally plug more basic lands into the deck if you wanted to. But mostly it's in here as emergency trample, and Kodama just happens to be pretty good in a modified build anyways. We have 3 Invigorating Hot Springs. Getting haste, or giving haste to all modified creatures is disgustingly good. I love it so much, but it also comes packed with those 4 +1/+1 counters, and then each turn you get to distribute one of those +1/+1 counters on one of the creatures you control. Activate only as a sorcery. That's kind of important to remember too. Invigorating Hot Springs is super cool, and it's an enchantment, so it works with Kami of Transience. 4-drop spots, we have 3 Howland Owls, just an incredible creature. You could totally plug 4 of these in here if you want. You could even drop the Kodama, go up to 4 Howland Owls if that's what you wanted. It's legendary, so yeah, every now and then maybe you'll only draw Howland Owl, and then you'll cry yourself to sleep that night. But for the most part, it's not going to get in the way too often because it has a huge target on its back, and so opponents know how to remove this, and it'll die pretty much right away. So you probably want 2 of these in your hand anyways. We have 4 Ziatora's Envoys. So while this doesn't actually play a part with the whole modified theme, it is so powerful. A 5/4 trample. Now imagine giving this haste with Hallandale. What's that? You don't have Hallandale? Give it haste with Invigorating Hot Springs. What's that? You don't have Invigorating Hot Springs? Oh, you can blitz this out for 5? Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good, right? So whenever this deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of your library. You may play a land from the top of your library or cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the damage dealt. from the top of your library without paying its mana cost if you don't put that card into your hand. So just a very powerful ability on this too. I am shocked we do not see more of this card floating around. On the very top end of the deck, we have 3 Invoke the Ancients, because this essentially gives you 2 modified creatures right out the gate, and then they're really powerful actually. So create 2, 4, 5 green spirit creature tokens. For each of them, put your choice of vigilance counter, reach counter, or a trample counter on it. So yeah, pretty good. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but I did design this build to be almost rotation proof. Everything in here is rotation proof except for the mana base. And we have no idea what the mana base is going to look like once the next set comes out. We don't know what the dual lands look like or anything like that. Or at least as far as I know, as of the recording of this video. Either way, every other card in here is rotation proof, but the mana base is definitely not rotation proof. We're rocking Den, who endures. Of course, the 3 basics to kind of let Kodama work. We have all the pathways. No, not all the pathways. The pathways that lean towards green. Oh my goodness, look at me separating all these. And then 2 of the Blightstep Pathways, because we don't need too many black sources in the deck, but we do like early red for Kumano, so that's something to consider. A couple Deathcaps and the Rockfall Vales, those aren't rotating out this September at least, and the Ziatora's Proving Ground. So we got 3 of those as well. That's also not rotating out, but these are the lands that are rotating. All the pathways in the Den. Just something to consider, guys. Everything else is safe, I believe, at least. I hope I made it safe. Just double check, right? Double check for sure. Either way, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how it does. I do have my concerns not having any removal in here, but I think it's going to end up working out, because the plan is to outpace the opponent with big old chunky creatures and get in that damage, and sometimes that ends up working out for aggro. I don't know, we'll see, right? Let's go check it out. Alright, let's see if we can get right into the first match here. We sure do, guys. That was really fast. I didn't even see the time on that one. Alright, opponent, what you bringing to the table for me? Ooh, this is a slow hand, and the opponent's going first. We keep this, I think. I think it's fine. I think this is fine. Yeah, so because we are Jund, we could rock a lot more removal in here, but it might get in the way of the strategy of just slapping our creatures to the opponent's face. We'll see. A pretty slow hand. Snow-covered swamp probably means mono black. Jadar, okay. Another, oh my, all 3 of the Proving Grounds. I think we'll play Kumano, even though we're most likely not going to get to use that second ability on the card. I think it's completely fine to just play that out. So this could be zombies. Zombies with a Blood on the Snow on the top end is possible. Yeah, we kept a really, really slow hand. But when you have land in your opening, and eventually you can play cards, like it's almost like you really just don't want to mulligan that away, because what if your second hand you only have like 1 or 2 land? And then you also have to ditch a card back, you know? So it was alright though. I think we'll be okay. It does suck that the opponent went first here though, for sure. Down to 17. Get that zombie out of here. And create another zombie. Okay, Jugan. Helps us ramp a little bit faster. The Goblin Shaman probably just dies. They might not want to remove the human monk, though. Okay, let's go Jugan here. The thought process is next turn, we're going to make sure we get Etching down first and then target the Etching and the monk for the counters. I believe we can do that. I think that's how it'll work. We just have to make sure Etching triggers first. And then we can ramp right into a blitzed out Envoy if we wanted to. I feel like they're keeping removal open, though, so we'll see. We'll see here. Deadly Dispute, okay. What's everyone gonna do when Deadly Dispute rotates, guys? One of the most played cards, easily. So good, though. It's so good, especially paired with our Shamble buddy. But Chief's Thirst, okay, they do end up getting rid of the ramp there. Halana. That's two of them, at least now, when they remove the first one. Do we want the Kumano to happen for... Excuse me? Is that not how it works? Am I confused? I'm dazed and confused. I think I messed up. I think I did it in the wrong order, guys. Or maybe you can't do it. That's always a possibility, too. Crap, now I really wish we could test that. You guys let me know in the comments. Did I just do it out of order? Or maybe you can't do it, because I feel like I tried something with Sagas before. Go for the chump block. Goodbye, Hallandal. You tried. Oh, this could be a Blood on the Snow, too. At least we'll get the, oh, Soul Shatter. You tried, Hallandal. I know. I know, it's a hard time out here. Yeah, we're down to 13. We gotta be careful. Could be another Soul Shatter open in their hand, but it's most likely just like an Infernal Grasp or Soul Transfer. Whoa! I'm not expecting that, honestly. Alright, let's get that Hallandal down. Put in some work in the air, huh? Okay, X, decline. Oh, we can play this too. Nice. Swing in the air. Opponent's running out of cards, and we got plenty of chunky creatures. That looks like a Blood on the Snow. Let's take the 2, just in case it's not a Blood on the Snow. But I'm pretty sure it's a Blood on the Snow, you know? I'm pretty sure we know what's happening here. I wonder next turn if we draw a land, we'll go Hot Springs and Fable and keep the Ziatora's Envoy as like a little surprise, a little bonus for the opponent, you know? Yeah, tough first match, very slow starting hand, but you can see why I opted to not have removal in the deck so far. Bring back Jadar, and that is a land, so we are going to go into Fable, Hot Springs, keep the Envoy as a surprise, like I said. But don't forget they can't block with this. We are getting low, but I'd rather get that treasure, as any top deck here is going to be amazing. Any creature off the top. Can also cycle it out too. Whoo! Graveyard Trespasser's nasty. Luckily, Envoy does get over that. Yep, swing for 3 down to 7. Jadar putting in a lot of work for the opponent. Don't overlook this creature, guys. Putting in a lot of work. Nice. Okay. So we have 6 mana, 7 mana. So we go ahead and decline. So can we do this in one turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we go Kami of Transience. I'm a little nervous because we're getting very, very low. So if we don't put a life-threatening amount of damage on the board now, then they could end up just winning next turn with a I don't know, like a big... That's stuck, guys. Is that really more removal on the opponent's part? Another Soul Shatter or something along those lines. If it is, a full swing might be deadly for us. Because they have 6 on the board and the Trespasser just ends up getting through. So we might just want to... No, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it, guys. Here's why. So we could have saved Kami of Transience bat, but we're gonna save at least one blocker here. Well, then they can still just kill that one blocker, huh? All right. We'll save the Kami of Transience and the Goblin. We don't want to get... Oh, we should have full swung. We didn't have a deadly amount here, though. They would have been fine. Nice. So we got a Den of the Bugbear out of that deal. Not bad. We drew a mountain. Not the greatest, but the Den is pretty cool here. About to flip the reflection. They go for the full swing. Gonna go up to 9 here. This is a close first match. So they're confident enough to full swing, which tells me the Den of the Bugbear is probably going to get removed, or maybe they're thinking to themselves, I can't keep up with this, we're going to go for the victory now. Because yeah, so they just want to hit like the other Halana, for example. Go up to 9, bring us down to 6, then we block Jadar and block the 2/2 and let the Trespasser slide through for 3. Okay, there they are. Could also trade here too. I'm okay with the trade. I'm okay with the trade, but I really do want to get this over with next turn. We should probably just play it safe, huh? Power up Den. Yeah, let's get rid of these. The reason being, it might just be another Blood on the Snow in their hand. Anyways, so like, if that's the case, they're gonna bring back the Trespasser or Jadar. So take less damage. Meat Hook off the top of their deck, takes out the Goblin, puts them back up to 10. Oh, buddy, this is an uphill battle, isn't it? Start by giving Reflection. Don't copy Den of the Bugbear with Reflection, guys. That is a big mistake. Opponent's down to 3, and what's your top deck opponent? What's it looking like over there, buddy? Because they've been looking pretty good so far. Hey, there it is. Let's go, guys. Woo! I feel like I could have played that one out a little bit better overall, but I'm pretty satisfied with how the deck ended up working there. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like against another creature build. So hopefully we don't see too much mono black control here. Which generally speaking, I don't see too much of it in ranked. Okay. A little bit of a better hand, still not that great. I know we have a lot of top end creatures, guys, so it's always going to be like... It's always going to be pretty heavy, like, land requirements and stuff. But with Gala Greeters, hello, opponent. With Gala Greeters and everything else just helping us ramp, hopefully, it should end up working out nicely with 24 land. If you go up to 25 or 26 just to hit your 4-drops and stuff, then like the Jugan and the Gala Greeters, I guess you could always go Gala Greeters with counter and everything. Yeah, Selesnya or runes. It's looking like it's gonna be runes, but we'll see. Fable the Mirrorbreaker could be good, but I think Jugan's gonna be a little bit better here, and we can go right into a Halana next turn potentially. Ew. We try to keep up with the life gain because we're not blocking with Gala Greeters. If we go Halana next turn, We're going to get a counter on each of these. Runeforge Champion, yep, it looks like it's going to be runes. Grab another Rune of Sustenance, I would say. Rune of Sustenance happens to be, like, such a savior. Okay. So, Ember-Keeper helps us get creatures back down. Fable's pretty good. Everything here is pretty good. Everything here is pretty good, honestly. I think it's going to be Halana. We're going treasure this time because we're putting our eggs into a basket right now. They're okay to take that. Yeah, they're definitely okay to take that when they're going to be gaining life. So putting our eggs into a basket against a deck that knows how to exile your creatures means don't put the extra counter, grab the other treasure. See, now this could be some removal. It's going to be Naturalist. Got free runes over there. Ah, man, we definitely see why people are still playing runes. Speaking of all your eggs in one basket. There you go. Okay, yeah, they're spreading out the lifelink here. How do we get around lifelink? Like, we have a chunky enough creature. Maybe just stop attacking? Maybe. I don't think so. Not now that they have free runes. They have lifelink there. Easy swing. Take the 7. Oh. I don't know if I trust that. Do you guys trust that? I'm gonna try to block. I don't like that, though. Feels weird. Just gain more life, I guess. Back up to 26. It's not too bad. We can definitely dish out 26 damage. Now the question is, do we want to keep the Gala Greeters up against the Visitor? And I don't know if we can actually maintain the pace required. Tapped treasure token. Let's do this. X is 2. And let the Envoy block. See, now we have, like, well, we could actually swing here too. If it's simple removal against the Envoy, what could we hit with the Envoy off the top? If we hit a land that's really, really bad. This has trample too. Let's go no blocks. They need 2 enchantments here to actually get their Visitor above the Envoy, but double blocks are a thing. Showdown? Crap, they're gonna get there. They plug it all in, so a double block is gonna be necessary. The Kami of Transience could have been good too. Right, so Touch of the Spirit Realms can grab the Ziatora's Envoy, and that, my friends, is a GG. Runes gobbled us up. I could have played that one better. There's no way. There's no way I played that out right. I apologize, guys. You guys let me know in the comments, what could I have done here? Because, woo, tough stuff over there. Yeah, all they were looking for was a little bit of extra exile removal, and then it was going to be over regardless. So see, that just gets right over this anyways. So, we'll survive a turn. See, we can't even full block for the 10. Has trample, so they're up to 38. And we're taking a ton of damage there. We could have blocked with the Halana and the other and kept our 6/6 Gala Greeters, but let's be real, guys. This one's not happening. But I do want to play out more cards and go for the blocks next turn anyways. Just like completely play it out. That's fine. We have a lot of really cool lines of play actually, and like one of the things going for the Ziatora's Envoy as a blocker was probably our best bet, wasn't it? Like, just banking on hopefully they don't have the removal. But yeah, you guys can definitely see why people still play runes. There's a lot of power, and even after Runeforge Champion rotates, I wonder if people are still going to be playing, like, at least Selesnya enchantments, right? Because all the runes rotate out as well, right? They all came out in the same set. Without runes, it's probably going to be a lot weaker, but we'll see what the next set comes with, right? Good game. That's scary, man. That's scary stuff. Look at how good that is. Oh my goodness. That is very scary. You can see why all of our opponents are just rocking board wipes. My goodness. 50% win rate so far. Not too bad. Whoop. Let's see if I continue to be okay with my decision of not having removal in here. Good hand. It's a great hand, guys. Best hand of the evening. Like, pretty much any draw is good here. Anything off the top, even a land, is completely a-okay. Oh! I should have played this out on red, but then we wouldn't have had a black source, potentially. Either way, now we are very far away from an Invoke the Ancients, so treasure tokens on the Gala Greeters is probably going to be important. Nice. Jugan is great. Let's start with treasure. Because boy oh boy does this feel like removal. Attempt Jugan and hope a Jawari doesn't happen. And we do this before combat because I'm looking for that counter. Nice. Get that counter. Swing for 5. Magma Opus. Nice. We're getting big damage through early on here. Next turn, we can ramp into a blitzed out Envoy. Opponent, you might want to play a something. I guess they might have removal open. Let's... Okay. I wonder if going for Gala Greeters here is an okay bet. My thought process is we're about to tap down our monk. And if we can get Gala Greeters above the range of some red removal, then we might be able to keep it nice and safe. It's definitely sticking over there. Let's go for the blitz. And we blitz this out because not only do we have a chance of getting something right off the top, they drop a good game for us. They drop a good game. We only have 13 damage. 14 required to actually win here. They go for a Valorous stance on the Greeters. That was sweet. So if we hit a land with the Envoy, I kind of misplayed by... At least we draw it. That's fine too. But we could have kept the Proving Ground in hand. Another land. Oh my. Yeah, they dropped a early good game, and I think that was for us because we did a lot of damage there, but the Valorous stance definitely helps them. Jugan defends the temple, flips into a Remnant of the Rising Star. Oh, more land. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, we really don't want to see all this land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Invoke the Ancients is going to be worth it here. Gonna attempt to swing on Etching. And like the double Invoke Ancients is crazy. A Test of Talents would be really bad, but... we can even tap an extra... we can actually get like an extra counter on one too. What could this be, guys? What could this be? They might have been dropping the good game for themselves, honestly. Maybe they knew that they could control the rest of the game well. They go for a treasure. Yeah, the Proving Ground we're gonna cycle soon, I think. And then this could be like a Fading Hope. Not a Fading Hope. So doing this after combat, we lost the Remnant, so we can't actually get an extra counter here. We're gonna go Reach and Trample. So the Reach is for Gold Span, and the Trample is for Chump Blockers. There it is. Very nice, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm getting nervous now because I don't feel like I'm playing at the top of my game. I gotta, like, I don't know. Let me get a drink of water while we load into the next one. Oh, what's this? Okay then. Into the next match. You guys can see there's a ton of power packed into the deck, and in the final thoughts we'll talk more about removal, because we're still gonna have those issues where Runes is just like running away with the game and stuff. Alright, let me get a drink real quick. Okay, so yeah, the hands have been relatively alright, I guess. Like, the hands have been slow, huh? So that's going to be something to talk about too. And it's probably because I'm used to playing decks with a lot more 1-drops. There we go. We got a 2-drop. That's good at least. That is good at least. Into a turn 3 Jugan is pretty legit. Unless they keep this mana open for a Jwari, then that kind of sucks. That looks like mana that's going to be kept open. Valky. Okay. That doesn't hit anything. Haha. Mission accomplished. Very nice. Well, opponent's thinking, I guess. Wonder what they have in hand. Yep. Let's get the Jugan down. Swing in with a 3/3 Kami of Transience. We're looking at that Invoke the Ancients very soon if they don't get rid of this 1/1 Monk. Potentially looking at an Invoke the Ancients on turn 4 here, which is pretty cool. Oh, the Valky sticks, huh? Because it's an X ability, and so they can do X is 0, I suppose. Okay. Shakedown. Wow, look at that. Ooh, buddy. Look at that. That's pretty sick. Swing? Sure. I'll take the 2. They got a great blocker over there now. I think we will go right into Invoke the Ancients, because it's not like they can meat hook them easily. We're about to put a couple counters onto these guys, too. Shakedown trades into the Kami, though. I mean, it's definitely play this out on green. Invoke the Ancients. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel? I don't know if we swing with Kami of Transience yet, because it has like the incredible ability to just keep on growing throughout. Even though going to the grave is fine. So against this deck, we're going to go Vigilance and Trample. Have 2 different ones out there just in case. A trade here would mean potential board wipe of some kind. Trade here would be pretty good though still, huh? Yeah, let's do it. That trade's fine. If they do take the trade, they might have another Shakedown Heavy in hand. And by showing them what we're doing this turn, yeah, showing that there's no combat trick or anything like that, we might have wanted to wait to play the Invoke the Ancients, but by doing that, they know, okay, look at that. Let's go, opponent. Big old chunky creatures. Do we want to tap it down? Am I swinging next turn? Yeah, we'll tap it down so we can swing in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because a swing here is huge. We can actually go green source safely. Get the other Kami of Transience down. Just buff this a ton too. But I think it's going to be Fable. Oh, is that risky? What if there is removal over there? We could just buff this. Yeah, we probably want to. Let's take the action. Keep whatever's in our hand. Because, yeah. I think that's fine. Swing, swing, swing. We're full swinging. We're full swinging because we have the 4/5 Vigilance. We have a 5/5 Kami of Transience. They do trade with the Valky. They do trade with the Shakedown. And they do chump the 4/5 down to 9. This is probably still anyone's game because we don't know what the opponent's rocking. Like, 5 mana, this could be a number of things. Okay. So if we would have gone... Okay. So if we would have gone a little bit of a different route there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, how do I want to do this, guys? Honestly, Invigorating Hot Springs is pretty cool here. We're looking for a full swing. Either way. I guess the Fable gets the Kami of Transience to a 6/6, and then we can go ahead and buff this twice. So take action. 1, 2. Auto pay. Too bad Remnant of the Rising Star doesn't actually buff here, but it's still a full swing. The second Shakedown Heavy does suck a little bit, but the trample damage from the Kami of Transience. Woo! That's bad. That's bad. Yeah, oops. Oops. That's bad. Well, we're not too low yet. Another Kraken. Oh, the opponent concedes. I'm actually, oh, we had flyers. Yeah. Woo. Hold up. Alchemist Retrieval here. Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand, but with a cleave cost of 2, this completely takes out the token there. That was a really cool play, opponent. So now I don't know if the oops was for us or for them. I thought they were saying oops like for us at first, but guys, we are somehow 38 minutes into the video already. I think we only got 4 matches in, but overall the deck did pretty good. And I gotta say, first of all, it's definitely a mid-range build. Having all of these 2-drops, like, it felt like we barely saw them. Like, our opening hands was all 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops. That's what it felt like, at least. So what I would do, we're looking at the single Kodama of the West Tree because it's pretty good, giving trample like as an emergency to slam on through with all of your creatures. Sounds pretty good, but we already have trample on the Envoy, trample on the Invoke the Ancients if we want to. We have flying on the Remnant, trample on the Kami of Transience. The Kodama is probably not necessary. You could also probably drop a single Invigorating Hot Springs. But don't get me wrong, you want to see this card. The haste on all of your modified creatures is super important, especially against control matchups. But you might be able to get away with 2 of them, as well as 2 Invoke the Ancients too, even though this is a really good card. And we didn't get held up too much playing it out with the 4 green pips up there. So, I don't know. Drop a Hot Spring, drop an Invoke the Ancients, drop a Kodama. That gives you 3 spots. What would I add? Some form of removal, I guess, although I don't think it's gonna harm you too much to not have removal in this deck. the whole point is to get your creatures bigger than your opponents, and it's going to do that fairly well often. And so yeah, probably still want to add some form of removal though, just as an emergency. If you don't want to, if you want to be crazy like I was today, you could drop the Kodama, drop an Invoke, drop a Hot Springs, go up 2 Fables, and then go up a land as well to have 25 land, and just keep that, make sure that you can actually get your mid-range down on the board. It is pretty greedy only having the ramp on. Well, there's actually a ton of ramp here, isn't there? Gala Greeters, Fable, and Jugan, but you got to make sure you get that 3rd land, so you could rock 25 land here. Hallandal's incredible. I wouldn't cut a single one of these. If anything, I would go up to 4 of them probably, because exactly like I said, it has a huge target on its back, and Envoy just seems really good too. Seems like it's one of those cards that can deal so much damage that you're closing out the game on that turn or the turn after, because Envoy hits so hard, especially if you're giving it haste off of a Hot Spring or off of a Hallandal, or for that matter, if you're just swinging in with all of your other creatures. There's a lot of power packed into this deck, guys. Let me know in the comments what you would actually change. My guess is you guys would probably want to opt in for that removal, and it could be pretty much anything. Kami's Flare would be sick. It could be as simple as adding like a Bloodchief's Thirst, but remember there's not too much, like we're really just splashing the black mana for the Ziatora's Envoy, and so like we do have the pathways in here though. Also, if you add like a Bloodchief's Thirst, then you're also, that Bloodchief's Thirst rotates too, so, but I mean, so do the pathways. It really depends. I've just been trying to put decks together that are leaning towards rotation proof, and don't worry, if it ever is rotation proof, then I'll put that in the thumbnail or in the actual title, whereas obviously this one isn't fully rotation proof, so I will not be putting that anywhere in the thumbnail or title. But it's close, it's close. We didn't get to see Ember-Keeper do anything today, which kind of sucks, huh? I think it can totally do a lot, and I think paired with the Kami of Transience, it's so cool. Also getting 1/1s with this, if the opponent didn't like wipe the board or something, then it also gives you triggers on the Gala Greeters, which is kind of awesome as well. Yeah, a lot of power. I don't know what else to say about it other than add some emergency removal. Even an Infernal Grasp could be good. That would have been like really good against the rune build there, so something to think about, I guess. Either way, if you guys made it this far into the video, y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.